Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm Danny, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the UK, and today is the last day in my summer series of Facebook Lives. Every day this week I've demonstrated how to do a different technique using products that remind me of summer, and today it's all about daisies. I have a card here that uses the spotlight technique. And you can see inside I've decorated it as well. So I've been waiting for this lovely daisy garden stamp set for a while, and it's just one huge stamp, and we're going to use the Stamparatus for this. And I've had this idea in my head for a while to use the spotlight technique, and lo and behold, I saw a fellow demonstrator, Jenny McCormack, use this last week in a live. So I'd like to pay tribute to her in this. And it's not a new technique, but it's a lovely technique that you can use with a lot of lovely stamps. It doesn't need to be as busy as this, but I just love this little technique. It's like holding a magnifying glass up and just having a spotlight on one particular area. So you can see it's slightly raised, and then inside I've just decorated it. And then we're also using these lovely gift tags, the tailor-made tags, which I think if you haven't got this, it's something that I think is well worth getting. I think especially for Christmas, because you can just get a whole load of tags, cut them all out. If you like colouring or you like decorating it another way, it's just so lovely. And if you can see the detail on here, you get I think it's 8 tags in total, and look at the detail on here. This is sort of a dotted edge and a rectangular edge here, and then you've got this sort of stitched edge with a rounded base here. And because you've got these little added, I don't know, hole strengtheners as such, if you put it into a different colour, which I put, I think, in Sahara Sand, you can see it on there, it just makes it look so lovely and professional. So I love them. I think I would make great use of it, especially at Christmas. Just going to refresh my page, because yesterday I didn't get the comments coming through for ages. It said it's not working. Just going to try it again. Aha, Sarah. See, my comments have just come through. Hello, Sarah. Finally made it to the last live day while you're showing. Oh, thank you for joining me. Hello, Natasha. Oh, thank you. Hi, Let. Right, so let's get started. So what I am using, in fact, Sarah Terry, I know you've got one of these. It's a Stamparatus. I wonder how much use you've got out of it. This is a tutorial in itself, to be honest, but I thought I'm just going to use it in a simple way because this is a very large stamp, you see. So just put this to one side. As you can see, this is a very large stamp, and you need either the F stamp, F size stamp, or you can use this Stamparatus. Now, with the Stamparatus, you get these 2 plates. Click into here. I'm not going to go into great detail about this. It's just a very simplified way. But if you want to know more, I think this is such a great thing for Christmas cards. When you want a great stash of Christmas cards and you can just quickly stamp it, they adhere to this. This is just like a big acrylic block. You get 2 very strong magnets. It's you can either put paper, I've got this little grid paper on here, and then you've got a little sort of sponge stamp, and it does come in good use, especially for this. I'm trying to get you within camera shot. So for this card, I'm going to make the card first. You need a tent style fold card. So with our A4, if I unfold it, you can imagine the other side, you can get 2 cards out of the A4 cards stock that we have. So you would cut it at 10.5 with the short side at the top, and then you would score it at 14.9 to get your tent style fold. So put that there, and then on the front I've mounted it onto a granny apple green card. That's 14.4 by 10 centimeters, and then the white, the basic white, is 9.5 by 13.9, and that is what I'm going to stamp on. So it's a case of mounting it, getting it in position, and on this you could, when I first got mine, I basically just had a piece of white paper, but I have bought these because I think they're very good. They've got a little ruler at the side, they've got inches on the back and centimeters on here. So then you mount it, your card, into position, and I'm just following these lines that I've already measured it up, so I know that this is going to go onto here and it's going to be in the position that I want it. And I've basically put the magnets so that they're not touching the stamp, because obviously you want it to stamp the card. So with this, with these big stamps, sometimes when you're pressing down it doesn't always come out, and then it's like you've ruined the paper, the card. So with this you could do it as many times as you want. If it doesn't come out first time, you know that you can either put the ink on again, you've got it in exactly the right place, so you can stamp it again. With the daisy card that I've done, I've actually used basic grey. Now normally you would use the Memento black if you're colouring, but because I'm not doing a lot of colouring, I've decided to go for this because I think that it's just a slightly lighter hue. So I'm going to press it down. Now you can see here it hasn't come out completely, but I know I can either lightly dab some more on and press it again in the area I think needs it, and again. Just this little petal doesn't want to come out. I'm going to just try and find where that petal is there. I could put more ink on all of it, but the thing is it may come out a bit dark. That's better. It's come out now. So then you just need your chamois to clean it off. And you're ready to go again. The thing is with this and the chamois, you get really dirty fingers like I have already. So I'm happy with that. I'm then going to take it out. I'm going to use that a bit later on. Just close that up, otherwise I get my fingers in it. Now, the other thing is, now if you look at our card, we want to create a spotlight. So to create that spotlight, I'm going to use the Layering Circle Framelit dies, and I'm just using the plain one. I'm going to cut out that section. So, and I don't know where I'm going to do it. Say if I was starting this all at the beginning, I would cut it out on a scrap piece of white, and then I would sort of look to see where I would like my spotlight, because you could have it down here and then put your sentiment at the top, in the middle, but I've already decided that I would like this section. So I'm then going to cut it out with my stamp and emboss machine. Normally I would use the little one, but I've just got this to hand, so I'm just going to use this. So you then, oh, just realised I haven't got my lights on. And then I'm just going to pop it where I think I would like it to go. I think there. So cut that through. Pop that back, otherwise I'll lose it. So there we go, I've got my little area that I would like to spotlight. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to refresh my page again because I can't see. Maybe nobody's talking to me, but that's fine. I don't want to ignore people because I can't, it just doesn't seem to refresh my page. I can't see your comments. Oh, hello Jane. Oh, Sarah, you use it loads. Oh, great. Great for stamps with a separate coloured in stamp. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, Jane, you're getting it. I love daisies. It's one of my favourite flowers, especially. It reminds me so much of summer. Right, so what I've used here is the Mango Dark Melody. Dark Mango Melody, the Granny Apple Green, the light, and then the Daffodil Dark and Light. So I've used the Dark Mango Melody for my middles. You can make daisies any colour you like, can't you? But I just wanted today to go with, this is the light, Daffodil Delight, because I think it's just simple. They're simple flowers, aren't they? You could make them all sorts of colours that you would like. So I actually just love this stamp. I'm really pleased that I got it. So with the greens, so I tend to use the dark green, following the veins. Now you, first of all, you end up with these sort of harsh lines, but you'll see when I blend it that those harsh lines will disappear, and that's what I love about Stampin' Blends. So I use the light Granny Apple Green. I'm going to colour it in. And first time I'm going over it, you can still see, can't you? I don't know whether you can see actually, hopefully you can, the darkness of the veins that I've used the dark Granny Apple Green on. I don't put, I'll put it up to my camera, up to the camera in a minute. It's just that I don't move the camera because I'll probably flick it across the room and that will be the end of that. Still new to these Facebook Lives. So Then what I do is go over the veins and do a swirling motion, and you can see that as the alcohol evaporates, it's beginning to blend, and that harsh line that you saw before is disappearing, and it gives you the depth to the card. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. Right, so that mounted on to your Granny Apple Green to pick up the colour that I've already got in the blends. That's going to be raised, so I'm going to stick that on with my Tombow. Going to get a little 1/2 centimetre board around the edge, and I think it just links all the colours together. And then that is going to be raised with dimensionals. So the dimensionals, put a few on, and then what's nice is you get the sort of the green, Granny Apple Green underneath as well. So to make sure that you've got it all lined up, what I've done is look at the stalk from here, and then I know that if that goes there, it should be in the right position, like that. Okay, let me refresh my screen again. Doesn't want to play. Yesterday and today I've had problems with it, so I can't see your comments, and I want to... Oh, Fiona, you're here, thank you. Yes, the little circle would make a great tag, you're right. I use circles for that as well. So now I want to do my little embossing. So I'm going to first of all get my ribbon. I've used this is from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. So it's actually, you get 3 ribbons. There's a twine, another type of ribbon, and the white, but I think the white is lovely cotton. Reminds me, it's just lovely and fresh, isn't it? And sort of thick enough as well. So that's going to go round there. To keep it in place, I've got to find my tear and tape, so I'm just going to pop that on there, keep it in place with that. So, and that's straight, so straight there. There we go, I'm happy with that. So then I wanted a sentiment. I've got a little hello from me to you, and I love this sentiment because I wanted a strip, a long strip. And you can find anything that you've got, but I've used the Pansy Patch, a little hello from me to you, and I love this these texts because they're 2 different fonts, and I thought this is perfect. Mounted it onto a block already. Just going to get a bit of black card. Then I need my Versamark. white embossing powder. This is quite striking, isn't it? White on black, but I just think it picks up the darkness of the grey and links it together. That away. And I often get some little flecks of white, so just going to clean that up with a brush. I think we're going to have a lovely weekend again, girls and boys, whoever's watching. So, what are your plans for the weekend? Just going to heat emboss this. We've got a craft day tomorrow with our little team. Stacey Marsh and some of us here on this group, we're actually all going to it, so we're all looking forward to that, I think. I think I might take mine out into the garden and do it. It's going to be a lovely day. So then just going to cut it down. I think I'll just do it with my scissors. Well, at least it's Friday for those who are at work, and you can enjoy the weekend soon. Thank you for those who've been at work and still put me on. It's really nice that people support each other. So then I'm just going to pop that right to the edge and I'm going to put that at the top. And before I do, I'm just going to put the twine hopefully this is long enough. Feed that through there. And then once know roughly it's going to be around there that I want it. And then I will put my sentiment raised again on some dimensionals. We do have black dimensionals as well. Sometimes that helps when you're mounting it onto a black card, because you then don't see it as much. Then popping that there. And last thing is to mount it onto my card. I think I'll just cut these off a little bit. I'm sure some of you have answered me with your questions about the week, with your answers with the weekend, so I've got to refresh my screen again because I'm not getting it through. Now, just to say that with a tentfold card, you do need something on the back. Some of you may say, well, it's a waste of card, but it can sort of collapse. You need something inside to counteract the weight of the front. So I've already mounted that onto the green card again. I've stamped my sentiment at the top. I've again sort of had a little border and again mounted it into the Stamparatus so that you just get a little border and coloured that in, and that just gives a little finish of the inside as well. And that sentiment inside comes from the Pansy patch stamp set. Wishing you little extra happiness just because you're you. I think that's really sweet. So the last thing is to just finish it off with these silver and clear epoxy essentials. These are new. There's sort of clear ones and sort of silvery ones, but I think the silvery ones sort of, they look like water droplets, and I quite like, it's just natural and clear. This is a little teardrop, quite sweet. So there we go, that's the first card done. Let me just refresh my screen. Tell me what you think. Right, let me just read the comments. They've only just come through again. Just a little circle of make. Yes, I've read that one. What did you wipe over the card before stamp? Yeah. So this is a little embossing buddy. It's sort of anti-static. They don't actually sell these anymore, but it creates, it's got a little sort of starch in it inside a bag. But what you could use, a little anti-static sort of cloth that you get for washing, or just wipe it over, because you're wanting the area to be free of dust, because the little embossing powder will stick to a dirty surface or anything that's sticky, so that you're just cleaning it really, Sarah. Clever idea to use a brush to get rid of bits. Oh yeah, just a normal paintbrush. For some reason I always get little bits of the embossing powder on the areas that I don't want it, but this does help, this little embossing buddy. So let's have a look at all these lovely little, I just love these. I love creating gift tags, and I've created some already, so as not to bore you. So I'm just going to use one of them, and I'm going to show you how to get the little daisies on. So what you're doing is, I think this is the same one. So what you're doing is you just want it at the edge, because you want your sentiment to go in there. So you need to line it up, and it's a case of just trying to find out where you're going to get a little bit of daisy at the edge. So I'm going to pop it right up the top, and I'm just going to have a look, because I would like a bit of greenery in there as well. So yeah, I'm not putting it right down, just going to put the magnets to hold it in place. I hope I'm still in view. And I'm not shaking the camera too much. So I'm just going to have a look to see. Yeah, happy with that. So then again, just going to colour in with the mango in the middle. And I think if you can get the green when you're mounting it onto your gift tag, if you can get the green leaf as well, I think that sort of helps. Just the colours. Because you want the yellow and the green as well on it, and I think it just makes it look a bit nicer. But to be honest, the daisies on its own is nice too. So again, I'm blending those harsh lines with that swirling motion. So then I just want a little happy birthday. I'm going to do that in grey again. Because they're photopolymer, you can see where you're stamping. I've used the grey because I think, the basic grey, because I think it's not as harsh as the black. But the black, I think, works just as well. So then I'm just going to cut a bit of this off. I don't need a huge amount. Now, I know this is quite a thick ribbon. Before I do that, I need to pop my little sort of strengthener in. So that's one of these, and I've used that in Sahara sand. So it just gives it just looks like a gift tag, a proper gift tag that you would buy in the shops. I think that's too much. Don't want to get too much on there. It'll just splodge out. It's a bit fiddly, I know. I'll have to put that over there now. But it does make all the difference. And then you get your piece of ribbon, the length that you think you want, and then what I'm going to do is halve that, make it sort of pointed. I'm going to feed it in from the back, pull it through, get that loop, and then feed the ribbon through that, and then pull gently, and there we go. And then just as another little extra to make it all tie in, just going to use the twine, and the twine will come around at the top. If you know me, you know I use twine a lot. And a little bow to finish it off. Now I'll just say also that when I first did this, I used it on the normal basic white card, and I would say that this one, you can see this is the normal basic white. when you're colouring it'll go through, but I've used it on the thick basic white and the colouring doesn't go through. So I would recommend using the basic white thick card for using your gift tags if you are going to be colouring. Obviously if you're not going to be colouring, it doesn't really matter. Right, and so there we go. Just add that. Oh, I wanted to just cut that at an angle. So you'd give that, and there's a nice little gift tag. It's be all wrapped in love when you give it, and it's great fun to do. So there's your projects. I'm just going to refresh the page because it's happened again. Sorry about this. See if there's any comments. Don't want to ignore you. So pretty. Thank you, Fiona. Yeah, it's any occasion card. Yeah, that's right. So there we go. So we've used the Stamparatus today, and the Daisy Garden lovely stamp set. We've created a spotlight card and decorated the inside, and we've also made some matching gift tags as well. I hope you've enjoyed this week of my summer series. If you get a chance to look at the others, please do. They're saved in this group. They're also uploaded to my YouTube channel, Danny Design Studio. And if you spend £20 or more, you can receive these basic white note cards and envelopes. There's 20 of them there. You can just click on the Shop Now button on my profile page, but message me if you have any questions. Until then, thank you for joining me and enjoy the summer. Keep safe and happy stamping.